Okay, what we've got is 2mm Allen key, a 11mm spanner, a 12mm socket, a 9mm drill bit, or something of about a bolt 9mm diameter, and a big shifting spanner. So what we want to do is turn the water off. Obviously there might be little taps just under the sink, or you might have to do it at the mains. Wherever you can do it though, you've got to do it. Then we remove these two. I use the shifting spanner for that. Hot and the cold off. Then you have to reach up under the sink top, and you've got to find the hexagon bolt there. You can use a 12mm socket or just a 12mm spanner if you haven't got. And you've got to undo that. Then you'll find one of those always rusted up. It might have something like this, might not. So you remove that, you're working under the sink. Then that whole complete assembly can then be removed. Then take it outside or somewhere, because it's a bit heavy and it can cause damage to the sink top. Now what we're going to have to do is use the 2mm Allen key. See that in there? We're going to have to remove, just loosen it until it pops off. And under there you've got a spring which sits inside that little collar bit like that. So that come off like that. Just keep the parts in the order that they came off. That little, they look like metal, but it's only silver plated plastic. This next big ring pulls off as well. There. Now we've got at the bottom here, this ring screws on. It might be tight. There are two little holes there, and that's the only thing you can use with ball nose pliers or big circlet pliers, or okay at a push, not to scratch it up, but you can use some mole grips with, put a bit of rubber over there and then mole grips, and it might just come off by hand. Mine did. So that comes off like that, just leave it like that. Now push this whole thing up through. That will reveal this bit here. Now we've got to undo this top nut, this top nut here, and the only way we're going to do that, because you're not going to be able to grip that tight enough, and if you put that in the vise, this has got to seal against the water, against the rubbers here inside, so you don't want to mark up that really. So that's why we're using the 9mm bolt, or in this case drill bit, to go in that hole there, which then will allow you with the big wrench to, okay, I've already loosened it. That was a bit tight, but that will give you the ability to unthread that. Now the part that you want, that's your faulty part. Yours broke off there somewhere. And that's the dismantling of it. So you take your new one. We need a bit of grease. A little bit of grease like that, because these rings here have to seal against the bottom there. Oh yeah, I should have mentioned, we need to clean out, I've already done it, but clean out inside here, because if there's any dirt it might not seal against these rubbers here. So you only want a tiny bit on, it's just like that. Now those two locate in those two holes down in the bottom there. So once you put it in and you twist it, it'll drop into place when it finds those two holes. There, that's gone in. Okay, so then it's just the reverse of what we did, except I'm just going to put around these two rubbers here, need a smidgen of grease. Nope, forget, we've got to put that big retaining ring on, the big copper one. So I'm going to give that a bit of force. Like that. Should do it. So pull that back through. Just be a bit gentle with those rubbers as they go in. Just twist it a little bit like that. So that's sitting down in there. That ring comes back on. I don't think that has to be too tight. And I haven't really got anything to tighten it with anyway. So I'll leave that like that. Then we've got the top part on there. That will have to swivel until you find that that joystick moves. Then we've got that ring on. Then there's a flat on that pin. There's a flat which is what this then, the little grub screw clamps onto. So we put that over like that. We align the flat with the screw. Push it fully home. 2mm Allen key. It's somewhere around here. There. Okay, 2mm Allen key. That doesn't need to be overly tight. Just like that. Just check it all moves. Now we take back to the sink, pass the hoses through, have that sitting down there, have someone hold this, support this at the top, while someone else goes under, puts something that will look like that on under. Then you've got the little horseshoe clamp that goes on the retaining nut. And refit your clamps, the hoses I mean. Have someone stand by and shout when someone else is switching on the water in case there's a water leak. Put some cloth down because you're going to have some water leak anyway. Yeah, you should do that before you start the whole job. Get some rags and stuff and tissues to mop up, because all that cabinetry will swell up with the water and yeah, cause a lot of damage. So basically that's it, and let me know how you get on. Thank you.